The box is over there somewhere. Yeah, you can absolutely
because I have to take the freaking school van down to Detroit.
Oh, really?
And I get okay, the new van. I'm a big dude. I'm completely okay with this. I don't care. But I get into the new van last year, and it's got like a nicer seat, but like the seat belt comes to like here.
All right, hang on a minute. I gotta hit mute here. There we go.
It like comes. I couldn't even get it buckled right. Get to the old van perfectly fine, no problems. And I'm like, dang it, I have to drive this. As the head coach, I should have the nice stuff. But now I'm just gonna grab one of these. David got some cushions for our seats, and at least I'll be comfortable on my ride. Daniel, you do signs for a living, right? Like
I do.
you're a sign maker? Yeah.
Yep, I'm a sign maker.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
I used to love that book, The Sign Maker's Assistant.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
If you've never read it, you should read it.
mm-mm.
It's a children's book.
Interesting.
We need to work on ours at some point. Are you ready?
I am.
All right, I'm ready too. Daniel, you good?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Welcome back to Bucks and Brews. So we've had some technical difficulties the last few weeks. I think we've got them all figured out now. So I figured out the Zoom issues. I've got the correct microphones going. I think
Maybe. We're hoping everybody can hear us. Give us a thumbs up in the chat if you can.
Nobody's on the chat yet, so
Say.
we'll see what the fuck happens. Nick, what are you drinking? Oh, wait.
Say, as always, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family. We appreciate you guys joining us. David, I'm drinking again a Red Bull Zero. Quick life update for those that give a shit. Last I checked, I'm down 42 pounds in a 30-day period. So, yeah, we're doing pretty okay with that. So, and for the little bit, again, as I said, I'll keep drinking some of these. I might splash a beer or something in there every once in a while, but trying to limit that kind of as well. So, David, what do you got?
So I'm bringing up the Bucks and Brews today.
All right.
I have tea.
Say tea, brewed tea.
Brewed tea.
All right.
And our special guest who we've had on episodes before.
We are joined today by Daniel Seawick.
Not the professor.
Not the professor. Daniel, what are you drinking, my friend?
This is a nice carbonated water tonight.
Carbonated water. Okay, so you like the carbonated. Your brother enjoys the city of Lansing. Tap water.
He's got the highbrow water.
Is it that machine that makes the thing?
No, I'm just saying.
It is.
Oh well, I didn't know that. But
yeah.
I was just going with the special bougie water.
Yeah.
Soda Stream.
Oh, Soda Stream. There you go. Yeah. And good for you. So
you put a question out there.
I did
last week.
I did.
And what was it?
So I'm out to a ridiculous dinner with my
Can I change the time first?
Please.
I have a new hat on.
Yeah.
Shout out to Christy because she made this. It's a resistance hat. Norwegians wore this during World War II when Germany was occupying them, and the Nazis outlawed them because they didn't like the fact that they were protesting with these hats. So
look at you.
I'm protesting.
Say standing for something. I got my speak your mind even if your voice shakes. I made this shirt for myself because
nice.
My buddy's little son was like, "Why don't you ever have anything in your shirt?" Because we're plain t-shirts, and I was like, "Can I make myself something?" Because things people don't know is like I owned a graphics company, and like I have a hat and I have a shirt, and the shirt doesn't fit me because it's from years ago. But like I don't own my own products, like I don't wear them. I'm a horrible business owner, promoter. But yeah,
so you made a post on Facebook.
Yeah. So I'm out to dinner at a restaurant, and it's right next to a McDonald's. And so I look over, and the McDonald's says, now accepting EBT. And so I took a picture of it, and I posted it on Facebook, and I said, wow, when did McDonald's start accepting EBT or something along the lines of, I didn't know that this was a thing. And it generated a bunch of interactions. My Facebook is a public Facebook, and so now like you hit one topic and it goes to random people that you don't even know. So I do it because I don't hide anything, and B, it gets things like this to happen, right?
Right.
I'm not followed by millions. I'm nowhere near a, what do they call it? An influencer. I say, I'll influence you on things you shouldn't do. So, but yeah, so and it kind of sparked some topics, or some debate and things like that. Because all I posted was, basically tell me the facts. Don't give me your opinions on this because I don't want to hear it.
Right.
And of course, that became opinions.
Oh
and,
yeah.
and I think even one of the first ones was like, why does it matter to you? And I was like, hey, I'm all for it. I think local restaurants should be able to take it. Like, I don't care how you spend food money. Like, and I told the guy, I was like, you keep assuming whatever you want, that's on you, bud. Like,
Right.
again, as a kid who grew up on this, right, I would have begged to be able to go out to a McDonald's.
Well, and you had a lot of comments.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Dan came on and he's like, hey, I'd love to talk about this on
Yeah.
Bucks and Brews.
Yeah.
So, Dan, the people that watch our baseball episodes know
Yeah.
you, but introduce yourself real quick and we'll start
right.
running.
Dan Seawick, the professor's brother, in case you're watching and I look familiar. I'm his twin brother. So, but I do have a little different career path in my life. I am a sign maker. So I'm not an expert on anything, but it just so happens with this particular topic, it was something that eons ago in college we actually studied a little bit. So I learned a few things way back then, and they're still applicable to now, although the program has changed a little bit since those days. But so when I saw your post, Nick, I thought, yeah, I'm gonna chime in a little bit here because yeah, as you said, opinions happen quickly and people jump to conclusions often about things that they probably shouldn't. So yeah, so I thought, yep, I'm by no means an expert, but I might know a little more than the average person. And at least I can have maybe a little bit more of an educated jump to a conclusion. If that makes sense.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Well, I think one of the things that maybe our listeners don't know, I think our listeners know probably better than some of the people in your life, Nick,
Yeah.
is that you didn't always have what you have now. I mean, you came from a very poor upbringing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are a lot of people on your Facebook that don't necessarily know that about you.
Yeah. I don't.
So they think when you post a question like that, you're being a dick.
Right.
Whereas you're really wanting to know, hey, what's this about?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's those that don't understand that I actually do a podcast that's been around for 5 years that is about finances, whether it be for the poor or for the rich, right? Like, right?
You want to hear something pretty fucking awesome?
Yeah.
For one, hey, if you're in Singapore and you're listening to us, because we've gotten a lot of downloads from Singapore lately, please reach out. Also, we're almost up to 10,000 downloads.
Look at us. So
Awesome.
we're
Awesome.
trying.
So anyway, that's your thing.
My favorite, right? We had things like, so the picture, because McDonald's has it's an LCD screen type thing, like marquee, and then the McDonald's. One guy's like, "Oh, it's an optical illusion. There's two different signs." Nope. I literally was right there. It's the exact one, right? Thought they banned buying junk food with stamps, right? There's so much to it, and it's funny because stamps, right? Like I as a kid remember going to the grocery store and you actually had monopoly money, right? It's what I'm going to call it. You had a checkbook, right? With it had, I don't even remember, to be honest with you, and it was because like $10 was pink, $5 were blue, and the dollars were whatever. I remember a person getting pissed because we got change back, right? Because if it was $6.47, the people would give you the 53 cents or whatever it was, because you don't have that
denomination,
right? They can't just write on it or whatever, right? So they give you the change back, and somebody's like, "Oh, that's how you're scamming the system." And here I'm like, "Fuck, what system are we scamming?" Like, buddy, did you see what the fuck I'm eating right now? Like, if you're calling this scamming, Come join me, bud.
What was it, a Salisbury steak from Banquet?
Oh, Salisbury steak banquet, the family meal, or like that. Okay, that was a common meal, and the chicken, right? The you throw it in the oven
Yeah.
because it's already breaded, and
Yeah.
yeah, those were very common. Maybe a lasagna from fucking banquet, everything
Yeah.
because banquet back in the day, you
Yeah.
know, pot pies used to be $1. Banquet, I mean, it was just so. And then uh, boxed, we'd buy bag potatoes, right? I mean, buy a 5 pound or 50 pound
Yeah.
bag of potatoes because they were cheap.
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I haven't eaten potato in forever, so I don't know how much they are nowadays. But
I mean, you can get 5 pounds for like $2-3.
yeah, to say it was, probably cheaper back then. It was still, it's still really cheap for 5 pounds of potatoes. So, we got, I remember we'd go to Gordon Foods and our spoiler was, I swear it's a 2 gallon jug. They used to make it. It was a fruit punch,
Mhm.
right? And so it had, like you push the tab and pour it, and
Yeah.
like that was our like spoiler that we got once in a blue moon. Yeah, it was just again, people don't understand like the the things you make Polish roses with, right? The it's a one. I eat it now. It's a 1 ounce pack of lunch meat, and back in the day, they used to be 25 cents for one or five for $1.
Mhm.
I'm now currently purchasing them for my diet because they're just quick and easy.
Like the
And
Carl Budding ones.
is that what it
I was
is? Yeah,
just
that
gonna
company,
say, yeah, I know
right? They're,
exactly what you're talking
Yep.
about.
yeah, they're like $1.70 now.
Yeah, they got more expensive.
Like, but dude, because it's funny. Back in the day, they were 25 cents. My parents used to take that package and split the thing within 2 or 3 sandwiches,
Oh, yeah.
and that was the sandwiches we ate. And again, one of the times my dad, I stayed over his house. He had to take me to school. And he put a full pack on, and it made me feel like a king, right? He's like, "Oh, you can have all this meat," and I'm like, here now in my life, where I've had uh, I don't know, a 2 pound steak in front, but like looking at 1 ounce,
Yeah.
Yeah.
man. So people don't understand. Like I grew up doing this,
Yeah.
and this whole EBT for McDonald's is like, whoa, I didn't know this was a thing. Like I've always thought you had to go, it's unprepared food.
Mhm.
You couldn't, I don't think back, either my parents lied to me or we didn't know, but
This
you
is
could buy junk
relatively
food.
new.
Yeah, well, I didn't know you could buy junk food, I guess, back then. Like
Right.
if somebody said you could back then or something. Uh, I never got into the shady side. People buy stamps, right? So you give money for their card. They take the card and go
Mhm.
swipe it or something.
Yeah.
Apparently that's a thing that happens. I didn't know anything about that, right? Like I had one poor family that refused to take government assistance, and when I had the one that they were on government assistance when my dad met them, and so it kind of stayed or whatever, right? So it's just my knowledge is I felt the guilt of being the one to go into a shopping store and pay with paper coupons.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so this topic really is strictly curiosity for me, and
Mhm.
again, socially liberal, fiscally conservative, so there's a
Yeah.
rough part on that, right? For
Right.
me, um you know I again, as I said in the beginning of the episode, whatever the hell you eat, once you run out of the money, that's on you. Like if you choose to do that. But
Right.
McDonald's has $1 McChickens. What? That's
Right.
cheaper than going out and getting this
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
So
So, what I recall from my class eons ago, and then a little bit of I did a little quick research to kind of update myself on it. So the food stamp program was started in one form or another in the Great Depression, and it was intended to get farmers and hungry people to meet. And because certain farmers had too much food, and you had other people on the other end of the equation starving. So the government said, well, maybe we can do something about this. But the modern program as we know it really is a product of LBJ, Lyndon B. Johnson's Great Society. So it did start out as what you recall, Nick, the stamps. I remember when I was a kid, the monopoly money, as you describe it, seeing it in the stores and whatnot. And even when I started working in grocery stores, which would have been the 90s, mid, I don't know, 94, I guess. First year I worked. That was still how the benefit was dispersed. So the modern program, though, as we call it, like I said, late 60s. So the government, there's a reason why the Department of Agriculture is actually who administers the program. So the government figured, well, we can try to use this program, obviously, to help poor people eat, but also as a way of controlling food prices that actually benefit everyone. So you have one end of any good. You have the supply side, which in this case would be the farmers, and then you have the demand side, which in this case is the consumers. So the government does control the supply side a lot, and it's funny because people don't stigmatize farmers for getting paid not to grow crops, but it happens all the time in this country. But yet they stigmatize someone who's poor and needs to get food. It's kind of funny how that works. But a lot of it is just people just don't know. So the government said, well, we can control this from maybe the demand standpoint. So that's why, and that theory continues to this day, and that's why you can buy things like Coca-Cola and potato chips on what is now called EBT, electronic benefits, transaction, because they're trying to manipulate corn prices by and large with those two items. And that's why you can go buy a porterhouse steak on it, because they're trying to somewhat manipulate the price of beef in those instances. Now, as far as the McDonald's, I will be honest with you, that was new to me as well. I did a little bit of research because I got very curious about it myself. For the most part, the government does define what you can and can't buy with it. And
McDonald's
pretty much,
or
it does. Yeah, it
Oh,
dictates
okay.
what you can and cannot buy with it.
okay.
But there are certain instances, from what I could tell, where certain people can buy hot foods with their EBT, but not the general public. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that that sign at McDonald's, was accurate, but probably not everyone that has a bridge card would be eligible to buy a hamburger with it. Okay, it's only certain disabled people and certain elderly people that meet certain requirements.
Homeless people as
If
well.
that makes
Sure.
sense.
And so that's and it's select areas, right? Because I think it's only
Yes.
in
Nine
Correct.
states.
9 states. Okay.
Yes,
and
correct.
but it's not, I say, like, because Wyoming, right? It won't be necessarily in Traverse City, but is it the whole, like, all McDonald's in Michigan?
No,
City?
there are certain ones.
certain areas.
So what they tell you is call your local
Restaurant.
establishment, whatever restaurant
Yes.
you want to go to, and see
Yeah.
if they take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I did pull this. In Grand Rapids, there's 4 locations.
Mhm.
Oh. Okay.
The one across from Metro Health Hospital.
Yep.
44th Street in Kentwood. This is probably the one around Clyde Park, I would say.
I would assume they're calling that Kentwood,
Uh,
or the one
It's
on.
the Southwest, so
Oh yeah, that's definitely. That's
it's
definitely
probably
Yep.
more Wyoming than Kentwood. The one in Kalamazoo at 60th.
Yep. $1 McChickens.
And 28, 24, 28th Street.
Wait, is it on Kalamazoo?
This one is.
That one doesn't have $1 McChicken. Sorry, you just
No.
go up 1 more mile, make a right.
The one on Byron Center does.
Thing. Go up on 44th, and that one has it. So
And the states that participate are Arizona, California, Illinois, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, New York, Rhode Island, and Virginia.
all right, I'm going to make this political because I have to.
That's all right.
Mostly blue states.
Arizona, are they?
Arizona's kind of
Either.
purplish.
Okay, California is blue, Illinois blue, Maryland
Maryland's blue.
blue, Massachusetts
Blue.
Michigan.
Yep.
Currently,
I mean, purple again.
New York,
Blue.
Rhode Island,
Blue.
Virginia.
Blue.
Okay, so Arizona is the only kind of outlier of a maybe.
Mhm.
Okay, so again, you can tell, right? Democrats are for the people, and Republicans are for the money.
Well, and I mean, you've said that before. Republicans don't want these social programs because somebody might abuse it.
Let's say
Whereas
1%.
Democrats are like, if somebody abuses it, I need to get it to the people that need it.
Right. Let's say
Right.
I'd rather make sure everyone has it
Mhm.
and one not need it than one need it and not have it.
Right.
Right. And you know, I feel the same. Yeah.
And I agree. And the thing about I know numbers are hard to follow on the radio or on a podcast, but um, as far as government programs and government spending, it would probably shock a lot of people if they knew how much the government did not actually spend on this program.
I say I'm
And
actually really glad you have this information.
for what um, the taxpayer gets, well, for one, because of the price controlling that occurs with this. I mean, it isn't price controlling, but the market manipulation. This is something that actually every single person in the country does benefit from, even if you don't get a check from the government because of it, or you don't have a bridge card, you still benefit from the price controls. So, first of all, that's, in my opinion, a good benefit for the consumer. Second of all, if we look at actual numbers here, so in 2025, and this is according to the federal government's own data, um, you can take that with a grain of salt, perhaps. However, this website appeared to be, shall we say, not too. I don't want to use that word, Dan. It seemed to be still fairly legitimate. Okay,
Okay.
hadn't been corrupted too much yet. Although Kennedy's name was on it, but I feel like the stats are still pretty legit. So in fiscal year 2025, okay, there's 42,126 people that participated in this program. Okay.
42,126.
Yep. Out of 330 million Americans.
330 million.
Oh, wait, hang on. I'm sorry. I got this is too damn small to read for my old eyes. 42 million people. I'm sorry.
42 million. Okay.
Yeah, 42 million. And change.
Okay.
Okay.
So, gosh, that's 1/1 millionth of a percent.
I'm doing it right now.
42 million out of 300 and what, 80 million in the
Oh,
country?
42 million people are on this benefit, not
Correct.
42,000.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
So
Excuse me.
you're around 13%.
13% of people, and
Yep.
we know that Walmart has the highest amount of people on government assistance.
Correct.
Okay,
Yep.
so I
Of
just
the
I
workforce.
just had to get that in there
Yep.
real quick.
Yep.
So 13% of Americans are on.
Yep.
So sorry, I wanted to clarify because again, this is kind of now. Is it called the bridge card only in Michigan, or is every state the bridge card?
Well, so
We have a bridge here,
that
so
is a uniquely Michigan thing. So,
Okay.
but that's a very good question, Nick, because like most federal programs, it is implemented at the state level. Okay. So the federal
okay.
government tells you what to do, but you're responsible to do it. Mr.
Sure.
State of Michigan, you implement it. You can call a card whatever you want. Every state calls them something differently. The program itself is now referred to as a supplemental nutrition assistance program. We all heard of SNAP benefits when it was one of the things that was cut when the government decided that they didn't want to do their job and pass a fucking budget. So that's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Can,
So
can I tangent
EB
half a second?
EBT
Yep.
bridge
Yeah.
and EBT bridge stamps are all now called SNAP benefits. That's the legal term.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yep.
we're all different things, all the exact same thing. So okay, so it's now
As
SNAP.
far as the federal benefits, yes. Now certain states have their own benefits,
Sure.
including Michigan, but for the purpose of federal federally funded benefits, yes.
Okay.
So I want to tangent for a second on something Dan said. So he talked about the fact that, there's some people that get worked up over this 13% of the US that's on
Sure.
SNAP benefits. And that's 100% true. But you know what I never hear anybody getting pissed off about? All the corporate welfare we're given.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
They never sit there and piss and moan about billionaires getting handouts, but they piss and
Yep.
moan about the guy next door that can't
Right.
make his bills getting some fucking food.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the things that irritates me the most. You know what? If you can't eat and you can get a meal, I'm okay with that.
I have too. And honestly, it's none of my business if you're using it either. It's not.
Right.
You know, I was on it as a kid, but always, Rick, 'cause I had two different sides of things, right? Always
Right.
kind of taught,
Mhm.
that those people were lazy and those people were
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
and so you grow up and just go out and get a job and you'll do the things
Right.
and so it was hard. You heard that, but now it's like, you know what? And then I got older and I started getting some money to my name and I met a guy who, when I tell you filthy rich, I mean, just fucking filthy rich. And I had, we probably had talked somewhat of this conversation and he goes, "Did you go on vacation last week?" Yeah, that person hasn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you go do something? He goes, "Yep, they have a nice car that they live with," and because that was the other thing. Like, oh, well, you see these people on benefits and they have a new car and their thing. Yeah, but did you have to worry about paying your bill today? Did you get evicted from your house because you didn't pay your rent? Did you? He goes, look, if you start focusing on your life, you're
Mm.
going to go so much farther than worrying about somebody else's
Mhm.
life.
Yes.
And it was like, it kind of sat with me. And it's like, man, I want better for myself. I want to get and I want to go on vacation. I want to see the world. Most of these people have never left their state, right? Because as a kid, I did go to Cedar Point once, and that was the first time out of, or well, a couple times, but I say that was the farthest I ever went. Chicago with my aunt, and then Sandusky, Ohio, which both are like 3 hours away. Okay,
Yeah.
that was the biggest vacations I've had.
I went to Hawaii 5 times.
And so this guy's explaining, he's like, look, you're going to see more, you're going to do more, you're going to experience more. Why the fuck would you care what anybody else does?
Well, and those are the same people, not the guy you're talking about, that'll
Right.
sit there and go, well, why are they buying steak?
Right.
That might be the only steak they have all fucking year. Why do you
Right.
care?
Right.
Well, and then exactly. And then like the people that say, well, you're buying 2 cartloads full of shit and then you go put it in a nice vehicle. How do you know that person isn't buying it for shelter that they run? Because
Right.
there's a good chance if they have that much food, they are. Because those are some of the people that are eligible for those benefits. So
And you go to it and you kind of talked about it. It was like, okay, so this person's making, I don't know, do you know the number that you have to qualify to make it by chance? Anybody know?
It's fucking low.
It's like
it's
23,000 a
real
year.
low.
Yeah, is it
And
seven?
it's real low. And I was gonna say if you'll bear with me here, a couple of quick more numbers.
Oh yeah, sure, let's do it.
I think will help make your point, Nick. That not only is the threshold embarrassingly low, quite frankly, but all those 42 million people, the average benefit per person per month, $187.94. We're not
187.
talking much here.
Do you know the max by chance?
The maximum benefit,
Yeah.
I do not.
I
Okay.
can look that number up too.
I say, but the average is 187 and
change. We'll
and
round it
and
up to
94.
188.
Yep, because it's 94 cents. So we'll do 188
Yep.
Times 42 million people. Sorry, we're doing some numbers quick on air. So
Yep.
And these are gonna, let's go back to the income limit first.
Yes.
Okay, because that was your first question.
Yeah.
So 130% of the poverty level. So for one person, you can make almost $1,700. So it's 1696.
1696.
Right. So you right now have a 3-person household.
Right.
If your gross monthly income is less than $2,888, you can qualify for SNAP benefits. Now, when the baby comes,
Yeah.
it has to be less than 3,483.
Okay, so it goes up.
And that's gross, right? That's not
Gross.
your take home.
That's not your take
gross.
home. That's your gross.
So for
Yep.
and tradition, you said how many for three? Because that's the average family is what, 2.5 now or three?
It's like two and a third, I believe it
You
is.
said 2888.
2888 for three people.
Times that, that's a month, times that by 12. So it's $34,656 a year.
A year.
Or less, right?
Correct.
So then if we take that divided by 40, divided
That's
by
actually a little bit higher than what I thought.
so $16.60
Yeah.
an hour, 40 hours a week,
Mhm.
for 52 weeks. So, yeah, okay, sorry. So $16.66. And okay. Um, and you know, when you look at that, people, I say we talk this changes that whole minimum wage talk that we have, right? Because
Mhm.
people are talking just to get minimum wage. Even if you made $15 the minimum wage, you still, in theory, according to the federal government, couldn't afford to eat.
Yep.
Right? Granted, I will tell you it's different, but like according to what the federal and we all know the federal government, stupid, but it's still a low number, and you can't afford to eat.
So for a household of one, your monthly benefit range is between $24 and $298.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a family of two, it's between $24 and $546.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a family of three, it's up to $750.
Okay, 785. Yep.
Sorry, $785.
Yep. And then
$994 for four
up to 218
for each additional
additional.
person.
Okay. So the most you could get is basically $1,000 for
Yeah.
a family of four.
Correct.
Okay. And the average currently is less than what the most you can get for one person.
Yeah.
We're sitting at $188 and the average, because
Yep.
it's somewhere between 24 and 298. So that's crazy.
And I
know.
mean, I'm going to ask because I mean, this is,
Yeah.
typical people here. So, Dan, do you and Dave shop together?
No, actually, we don't.
Okay, so you shop separately. So how much do you think you spend a month at the grocery store?
Oh, fuck.
Give me a ballpark.
$300.
Okay. So as a family of one,
Yeah.
if he got the max,
Yeah.
he still can't
Pay
get
it by himself.
all of his
Oh,
groceries
no.
in that month.
And keep in mind, I don't eat like a lot of people. I probably don't, I mean, see me,
No, I'd say
You
you're
know?
much
Say.
you're much better shape than the two guys over here.
so but yeah, it doesn't go far. And I mean, my God, how expensive everything is anymore. It's insane. I mean,
Yeah.
a dozen eggs is up to $3.50.
Yeah.
And that's
I-
cheap compared to what it was a year ago.
Yeah.
With a Costco trip a month, I bet Dawn and I are between $600 and $800 because we buy a
Yeah.
decent amount at Costco.
Right, absolutely.
What do you think you guys are?
No clue.
You can't even ballpark me?
No,
$1,000?
I wouldn't know.
Okay.
I honestly,
Courtney does the shopping.
well, that and like we shop. Okay, we shop. I want to call it as needed.
Right.
Mhm.
So you're not making a weekly trip.
I'm not, right? So like I will buy lettuce on Monday. I use my 3 stalks of if she gets romaine, I'll use the 3 hearts or
Yeah.
whatever. Or if I get iceberg, I cut it into 4. And then Thursday I'm going back to buy more lettuce if that's, if I know I'm having that. So literally, I mean, I'm doing so much all the time, right? Like we just go, I mean, a typical, all right, so if I had to put a number on it, it's called $100 times, 2 times a week. So let's go with $800 for my family, roughly, right? That's just grocery shopping.
Can I release a Bucks and Brews exclusive here?
Yeah, Nick doesn't have a budget.
What is the first thing we tell everybody that we
Yeah,
talk to?
get
If you
budget.
want to get money, get a budget.
Get budget.
Yeah, no, David has things so tracked.
I do. I track everything.
You know what? Back when I didn't have the money I have now, guys,
You did as well.
I fucking tracked the work. I tell this to everybody. On Thursday night, I knew I was getting paid Friday morning. Thursday night, I'd log in, transfer every penny above my limit of what, if I kept 500 bucks in my account, if it was 526 cents, the rest of it went into savings.
Yep.
If it was 600 and something,
Mhm.
the $100 and something went over, and I kept myself 500 bucks every week. That's all I had. And the paycheck would come. I'd use a little bit of very sparingly. I mean, hot dogs, hot dogs, hot dogs, to say, but, and so, yes, now,
You don't have to worry quite as much.
not really. I mean,
You know,
I'm actually struggling with that, and that's another topic we'll talk about. Is am I investing enough? Right? Like, granted, I'm saying that because I don't have a real estate transaction going on. Like normally, I'm like, fuck, I'm broke, but it's hey, getting used to that fluctuation is kind of different. So,
I mean, when I was, I used to not be so good with money, and part of it was because I didn't make much. But even
right.
then, what I did make, I didn't necessarily spend wisely. And when I finally put the brakes on it and said I gotta get out of debt because I had a lot of it, a budget absolutely it was essential, essential. And I was like you, Nick. I had a spreadsheet with every single bill on it and every cost, and I um I used the debt snowball
Yeah,
technique to get out, and it worked.
and that's great. I love hearing that. I mean,
Yep,
you took action, and
yep,
really, that's what it takes. And you have to build that habit. You have to
yes,
build that. Like, if you
yep,
want it bad enough, you have to take those steps, right? Because
yep,
when you have to log into if you're better at technology, if you have to log into your Excel spreadsheet and say X dollars, you're going to think about
yep,
it because it takes an extra step, right? You're
right,
going to go,
exactly.
do I want to see this coming out? So
Yep.
it's why we tell you guys to do it. Yes, David still practices it like
Mm.
crazy. I mean,
Yeah, I'm nuts.
I,
Good for
what's
you. I
this
good
week?
for you.
This week I was going to tell you, um, my total was $1.46.
Or
The amount of change I seen on the ground that I didn't pick up.
okay,
Oh,
I would have picked
okay.
up every
I
bit
know,
of it.
I know, but
Yeah. I would too. Yeah.
I
Go ahead.
didn't because I was like, oh, I'm gonna make this a thing for a full week and see how much change I find on the ground.
Interesting.
And I walk out and I seen a nickel and a dime and a penny, and I think there was like a penny war at Fairlanes because I started say the bowling alley, and I
Yeah.
was like, somebody came out here and just threw a bunch of changes. Say, but it's that type of a thing. But yeah,
So you're telling me I should go over there and pick up some change?
yeah.
Okay.
Say
Yeah.
there's definitely the gas station that's right behind it because I went and got some the Red Bulls.
Yeah.
There was 6 cents just sitting in that parking lot. So um yeah, it was kind of funny. I was like, man, I should pick this up. But
Well, I said this on an
well,
episode earlier this year,
yeah,
and you kind of gave me shit for it. The older I've gotten, the more liberal I've become.
yeah,
Because when I was in high school, I bought into all that bullshit of you're only on government assistance if you're a lazy
Yeah.
piece of
Oh
shit.
yep.
gosh.
Well, and especially where you went, and
Yeah.
especially right. I mean, uh, that's what football is notorious for, that men mindset, right?
Right.
And yeah. So you went to a predominantly non-political way to say it, right? Redneck area.
Yeah.
So,
A
Oh
um,
yeah.
lot of working people.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
Dan, we didn't have we had poor people, but it wasn't
not as important there,
prevalent.
right?
No, it wasn't. We had people that maybe thought they were poor, but compared to true real poverty, there was not much of it. A
No.
lot of it. No. I
You
mean,
might have
Dave,
had a
I think
couple kids.
Dave, you and I probably grew up in very similar financial
Yeah.
circumstances. Our parents didn't have, they were by no means flushed, but um, they had by certain standards, they owned their own homes. You know, they both well, my mom and dad both worked full time. You know, weren't getting rich by any means, but we also had enough to eat, and we had a consistent home to go to every night, and um, we had what we needed. You know,
Must be nice.
I mean, we all played sports together, and
Yeah.
we did.
sports cost money, and
They did. Yeah.
there was never any time my mother did resist a little bit with baseball because she didn't want to put that much money into it.
Yeah.
But I mean, by the time I talked her into it, she was gung ho, and yeah, go play. You're
But
having fun with the guys.
But at the same time, my parents never drove new vehicles ever. They actually drove old vehicles.
Mhm.
Um, we bought a lot of our clothes at the thrift store, and they did very they had priorities, and it wasn't on fancy stuff that they didn't need, you know.
I made the mistake. I I never said it or whatever. One of my kids, he comes in, with baggy or like I don't know, it just different clothes or whatever type of a thing. And today the kids were giving him crap because they're like, "Oh, that hoodie is $200." I was like, "What the shit?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And so then we get to talking. The kid paid like $200 for just the hoodie. His um his shoes were 200. His pants were like 75. His t-shirt was a Vans t-shirt, right? Which was, and he's like, "Oh, I got the, I don't know, like 4." He goes, "The whole entire getup is probably $600." I said, "What the shit?" Like, and we got to talk, did the whole, talking. It was like, "All right, you have a job." He goes, "I paid for it." And he's like, "I still got 1,300 in my account or whatever." And I was like, "All right, what do you make? How many hours? Like
Right.
this and that." And I did the whole thing. And I was like, "All right, so you should have $4,200. And you just told me you have a $600 outfit and 13. Where's the rest of your $2,700, bud?"
Right.
He's like, "Oh, I've never." He's 6 months into a job, and I was like,
Yeah,
Keep track, buddy." I was like,
that's
"It's because
yeah,
when
awesome.
you look back,
Yeah,
at 1 year, you're gonna go, man, I could have had so much more money. When you look back at 10 years, you're like,
oh
fuck,
yeah,
I wish I would have made the right
Yeah.
decision. You look back
yeah,
at 50, and you're like, man, if I would have done something different. So,
yeah.
if you can, the quicker you can get them as they start the workforce, to sit there and look back at how much they could have versus what they've
Oh
spent.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I preach that to all the kids that the young people that I hire
Yeah,
um, for the sign shop I manage. Day one, you start saving and putting in a 401k.
yeah,
My company now has an incredibly good match. You're foolish not to do it. So I always
yeah,
tell them, if you only work here 2 years, still,
Yeah.
you can take it with you when you leave.
yep. So,
So,
Well,
um, real quick though, I want to get
yeah,
back to some numbers because Um, remember I said earlier that as far as government programs go, this one actually is not only is it not near as expensive as what a lot of people think, but um, as far as efficiency, these numbers might really surprise you. They did me. So the government paid out 95 billion in benefits
that
in
doesn't
fiscal year 2025.
that doesn't compute to me though,
Now,
because
uh,
if the
hang
average is
on. So
188,
sorry. Yeah, 95 billion.
did I do
Yep,
something wrong? You said 42 million people,
yeah.
yep.
100,000 million. I have that number. $188.
Hmm.
My compute only says 7,896,000,000. Because that's if the average is 187, right? Times 42 million people would only equal 7 billion or almost $8 billion. So
Yeah, I can't find the average.
Well, I think, Nick, because the average benefit per person, I think they calculate that a little differently. I
sure,
don't know that they necessarily take the total amount of um, recipients and divide it into the total benefits and come up with that number. They must calculate it a different way.
sure.
Okay. And that's government accounting for you.
Right.
Well,
But
remember,
So sorry, how much did you say it actually cost
okay,
us?
$95 billion is what they
95
paid out in benefits. However,
billion.
there was administrative costs in there too. But compared to a lot of other government programs, was only $6.6 billion in what I'll call administrative costs. So the total cost to the taxpayer was 101 billion.
1 billion.
Yep.
Okay.
well, they do adjust it depending on where you
Right.
live with,
I'm
uh,
saying that right, correct? 101 million,
Well, mil
101,663 million is maybe I'm giving you a wrong stat. Maybe it's 10 billion and not 101. I'm not moving my comma. I think
10
that'd make
billion,
your numbers
10,
work a little
10
better, Jay.
billion, 10 billion out of the 95 billion actually is what the taxpayer is paying. So we're paying 10% of it, of
About that.
roughly, right? So
Well,
I could do,
I think, and this is why I hate going over numbers on the radio, but I think I've got my decimal placed in the wrong spot here. It doesn't help that my old eyes can't see these damn numbers. I should have printed this fucking thing out bigger. I think it's
size
9.5.
56 font, baby.
It's 9.5 billion in total benefits
Okay.
Which
versus
is close to your
10.1
number.
billion total cost to the taxpayer. That would gel more to what
There we go.
coming up.
Okay. So 10.1 billion is what it cost us. The government's taking their money to run the thing,
Yeah,
and
the program.
we're only using 9.5 billion to out to the people.
Correct.
So, okay, this makes sense. Or sorry, 95 billion out of the 101. So
Yeah.
$6 billion is going
Yeah.
somewhere in people's pockets just for allowing people to have food.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's not a nonprofit apparently because the government's
No.
allowed to profit.
Well, I guess they figured that money goes to the people that administer the program.
Right.
I
I gotta figure out how many people are in that program. 90,
know,
nine,
right?
$6 billion. There better be a lot of employees. So,
can,
and granted, the real estate and all that, I get it. I'm just giving shit, but still. Okay. So
I
90%
don't know.
of
And like I said,
90% of what's funded gets out to the people.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it does.
okay.
Which
So,
is pretty good.
Yeah. It's better than some programs. Kelsey Bros. Excuse
like
me,
I
just
said,
Travis.
I just the last thing I'll say on the topic is, I'll just kind of repeat what I've said before. That one thing that's kind of unique about this program, I think, is the fact that because it is an attempt at keeping the cost of food down, everybody does actually benefit from it, which is not the case with a lot of government programs. Okay. Because like I said, it's their attempt to control the prices from the demand side. And they do plenty of it from the supply side too. Any farmer that's in business is eligible, and many of them take certain type of subsidies. And look, I'm not making a judgment on that either. I mean, foods.
Well, I mean,
We can't
I
live
know
without
farmers.
food. So
Farmers, they right. So at least in Michigan, and I'll
Mhm.
quote this because I don't know about other states, but like in Michigan, if you use your SNAP benefits
Mhm.
at the farmers market, they
Yep.
will double your points. So it's basically buy one get one free.
Yep.
And that's to help the farmers so that way they can produce more, right? And so that way it lowers our cost of how much things are going to cost us, right? Because if you think about it, the more beef, right? So what Mr. Seawick is saying is the more beef that is grown, the cheaper it becomes because there's a mass production of it. Where if you only had one cow and you had to feed everybody, that
Right.
one cow would cost $1 billion for a burger, right?
Right.
Like, and so
Yes.
to incentivize the farmers to grow more, to
Yep.
to keep corn prices at the lower cost, like we have. The more you produce, the more that gets spent out, the cheaper it is for everyone. So,
Well, here's something I found really interesting. So I'm going to make you do math real quick, okay? You
Good,
don't
because I
need,
suck at it.
trust me, you don't need a calculator
Okay.
for this math. You go with your EBT card to McDonald's.
Yep.
And you buy a McChicken.
Yep.
How much does that dollar McChicken cost you?
$1,
Why?
because that's part of my budget.
You go without an EBT card. What does that dollar McChicken cost you?
$1.
No, it doesn't.
Why?
Cost you $1.06.
$1. Oh, just EBT tax free?
EBT is tax free.
Really?
They cannot charge sales tax if you're able to use your EBT card on that prepared food. Because of course, if we go to the grocery store and we buy an apple, the apple's the price.
So we've already.
You don't pay sales tax on that.
Okay.
But if we go to McDonald's and buy a McChicken, we're paying sales tax because that's prepared food.
Sure.
Whereas if you're on EBT, they are not allowed to charge you a sales tax. They're not allowed to charge you a tip either.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, if you can use this at a place that gets tips, they're not allowed.
Sure. Okay. Now let's say I did do a quick search and it looks like you can get anything. Elderly, disabled, and homeless, if eligible, you can generally purchase hot prepared menu items. It doesn't look like it has a select item. So if you wanted a Big Mac, you could get a Big Mac.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it's limited. Like they have their own special menu. And it's not just McDonald's. It's McDonald's that started this conversation. But
Right.
from what somebody had posted, it was also Burger King. A couple other fast food restaurants, and again, in very select areas,
Yeah.
because, and somebody else made a great point, right? Homeless people don't have a way to prepare food, right? And
Right,
so
exactly.
to get a hot meal,
Yep.
and some people say, oh, look, you can eat a hot dog cold, but it's a heck of a lot better when it's warmed up on the bun.
You want to hear some of the restaurants in Grand Rapids?
Please.
Burton Village Barbecue Company, Popeyes,
Okay.
Wing Heaven,
Really?
Moo Gobble Burger. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Sounds like we're making a trip.
In Lansing, Crack Chicken, East Side Fish Fry, Just Munchies, and Siraj Cuisine.
Okay.
These are mostly not like, I mean, Popeyes is a chain, but
Yeah.
most of these are not chains.
Yeah, Eastside Fish Fry. I made a sign for him eons ago.
Oh, nice.
Hmm.
So yeah, there's different
You have-
restaurants that are participating, which is great because that gives you an option. And again, I said it earlier in the episode. I don't give a fuck what you're eating or how you're getting your food, as long as you're getting food.
Yeah. And look, there's no matter what the program, there's always going to be people that abuse it.
No, of
Period.
course.
But you can't, like you said, Nick, you can't let that spoil it for everyone.
Right. And people get mad when, oh, well, they have a boyfriend and they moved in and they're help supporting, but I just heard a statistic. 49% of marriages first marriages are getting divorced.
Okay.
Your second marriage, it's like 62. And every marriage after that, it gets higher and higher that you're going to have a divorce, right? So
Wow.
people are mad. Like, so yes, okay, you're supposed to claim that income that boyfriend's living there or whatever. I understand. But when does it become the obligation that they're paying for this household and doing things? Oh, well, that they're contributing. For what, a day, 3 days till they get into a fight and he moves out? Like, you know how long it takes the government to reinstate and prove that somebody's not there and doing things like you can't, if you're going to keep an eye on everybody, I don't need Big Brother to sit here and do that, right? Understand that you should be doing the right thing. Once you get your marriage thing, that kind of happens.
So I want to talk about this for a minute. This is similar, but not really. So Mike and I argue about this a lot.
Yep.
Okay. So last weekend, I ran break room because Dawn was sick.
Sure.
Okay. And he called me on Sunday and we were talking a little bit. And I'm like, man, I'm gassed because I haven't had a day off since Dawn's birthday.
Yep.
I'm working every day and now I have to run break room the entire weekend. And I don't get paid for it. That's what I say all that. I don't get paid for it. And he goes, yeah, but Dawn does, so you're benefiting. Yeah, but you don't say, well, I work, at my job, and because I get a paycheck there, Dawn, by in turn gets paid. But for some reason, he draws the conclusion that even though I work here for free, because Dawn takes a salary, that somehow I'm getting a benefit of getting paid for being here. Thoughts?
I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, but do you see it that way?
No. I mean, I think you should be taking payment, but that's your choice. That's how you have it worked out. Granted, you should also be paying rent for your space.
I should be, yes.
So, I mean, okay, so the thing of how you guys have your business structured, it's not the more money that the company makes, the more Dawn makes. She has a flat salary,
Correct.
and so that's where he's wrong, right? Yes, you're working and you're replacing that, but like she's going to get paid that same amount. It's just like having a manager.
Correct.
The manager goes on vacation for a week, they still get paid that same amount. So, that's where he's wrong. No, do you benefit from your wife having a job? Yeah, we all do.
Yeah, but she benefits from me having a job. They're not paying her.
Right. Say you log into your computer and she benefits that you're working from home, right? So yeah, no, he's wrong in that sense of things, right? But
I mean, it's the same thing. If you're living with somebody, yeah, they could contribute to but they don't have to. They're not required to unless you have some agreement with them.
right. So
Guys, I'm gonna attempt to drop in this the data into the chat
Okay.
oh sure, that'd be great. Now,
because I clearly suck at numbers, and
no,
that's
that's
what
okay.
happens when I've been up forever.
I mean, we're old asses here.
Oh.
Hard to read.
I'm sorry. You know what? 2 days ago, I got 20 minutes of sleep, and that was the dumbest thing I've ever done. I've done plenty of like 48-hour days.
Yeah.
And I don't drag near as much as I do when I only get like 20 minutes. I should not have taken that 27. It was bad.
By the time I got done with Saturday or Sunday,
Yep.
I was so fucking gassed. I didn't want to do a damn thing.
Yep.
Yeah. All
Um,
right. It is in the chat now. So
oh, there it is. Sweet.
you can see where the billions and millions and I don't know if
Yeah.
I
Well,
guess I need
let's say
to brush up on my decimals, even though I do math for all day at work. You'd think I'd be good at it, but I'm not.
no. You know what? I'm still horrible at converting centimeters to inches. So
I don't think I have Adobe on this. I don't know if I can open this. Let's try.
Just I think you can open it with
Word.
or Edge, the
Oh, here we
browser.
go. Perfect.
Good.
So 2025, this is in thousands and millions. All right. So $101 million total cost. $6 million was the other cost, which we discussed, and
Yep.
95 million is the total benefits.
Okay.
Which I mean that maths because 95 plus 6
Yep.
is 101 million.
So this benefit only cost us 100 million, not billion.
The average benefit per person is $187.94.
Yep.
And then the participants is 42,126. Yeah, so those numbers make sense. And that's gone down because
it has. And like I said, as far as government programs are concerned, this is probably one of the cheaper ones.
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
100%.
I mean, I can think of much worse things for a government to spend money on.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Well, I don't understand.
You mean like an East Wing?
That's just tore down and it's sitting there doing not a fucking thing. I struggle because when I was younger, again, I thought it was just lazy, dumbass
Dave,
people that did these
was
things.
the same way, Dave. 100% same way.
And I mean, I didn't know any better.
Yeah, you weren't.
Yep.
You were. It was taught to you that way, right?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know.
When you live where I lived, it's not like it was overly sheltered. I mean, we were close to Kalamazoo, but for the most part, we weren't diverse. I was, I was white passing, but again, I was a minority basically because I was only white passing. We had Rachel on a couple weeks ago, and her answer was she thought I was Mexican.
Right.
Which I mean, I get that a lot.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
But we didn't struggle in Plainwell like you struggled in Granville, or kids that went to Norix or Central might have struggled.
Right.
It was different.
Well, and that was I went to a choir concert at Granville, and it was so different than going to my daughter's choir concert in Jenison.
Mm-hmm.
They're one town over, and I will tell you the diversity and the you could tell the pay gap.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Jenison, not so right. I mean, the 1-2 people stand out, right? Like, and it's just. crazy different. So,
Granville still has poor people.
well, they have a ghetto, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so right over there by my grandfather's house, that was deemed a ghetto. God, it's probably been 10 years now, but right, a ghetto is just defined as an area that has an income that is averaged lower than the normal for the area, right? Um, and so, yeah, like could be, and the problem is because there's apartment complexes and low income things like that over there, so it created that to be a thing. So, you know,
I had very few classmates that rented.
yeah,
Like I had a few. I can think of a couple.
Yes, and
yeah,
exactly it, Dave. And that's a good point. Yeah, I can think of a couple too, but it wasn't the vast majority of them owned their parents owned the house.
Can you think of double-digit families that rented? Because I can't.
No, the only
So
one I can
probably,
think of that we knew, and it was by choice. They could have. I'm pretty sure Mike Laird. Pretty sure they
yeah,
could have afforded it. He just didn't want to own for whatever reason. You
right.
know.
Well, I'm thinking of the English family as well. I mean, they rented.
Yeah.
they were from England.
No,
No.
Their last name was English.
yes,
Yeah.
That was a fun
they
conversation.
they were white passing like
Yeah,
me.
so,
Yeah.
but and so, and that's, you know, you say, when did you go to school?
I graduated in
In
'95.
the 80s then for the most part?
Yeah, I mean, I had high school in '91.
Yeah, so I mean, right, like, but that's when apartments really started to build, was like the 80s and the 90s, kind of, say mostly the 80s, right? Like you've
End
seen,
of, end of.
yeah, you've seen complexes, and because, like, I mean, that's what I'm buying is, and so, but like, you don't find these things from like 1950s,
I think
right?
we had three in Plainwell. We had the one Laird lived at, the one right next to where he lived at, and the one right next to Big Top.
Yeah.
Those are the only true apartments I can think
You're
of.
right. Yeah.
Were they newer construction back then?
The one by Big Top was not.
Okay.
The
Right.
other two were fairly newish.
Yeah, it's like within the 10-year generation. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, you don't find them old ones because right, housing was affordable, things
Mhm.
were happening.
Yes.
So, now, granted, population has gone up, things like that, but still,
Well, we didn't have a ton of single parent households. I mean, he brought up Laird. Laird was a single parent
Yeah.
household. I was technically a single parent household, even though I lived with my grandmother and my
you
aunt.
had two, yeah, or three,
I had adults there, but my mom wasn't with my dad.
right?
Right.
Um,
But it
no,
was.
I
I
say,
think it was not the vast majority. Dave, you're right. Were two-parent households for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, I think of the kids we played baseball with, Kaminsky's parents, Shemaleski's parents, your parents,
Yeah. Jocelyn,
um,
our neighbor.
yeah,
Eric.
Jocelyn,
Yeah.
Zeiderveens.
Yeah.
I think Wiersma's parents were still together, weren't they?
Yeah. I don't think cider beans were though.
Oh no.
Mm-mm.
See, it just, and again, he didn't go to school with us because he went to Kalamazoo Christian.
You're right. He did. But my dad being the coach, a lot of times was also the bus driver. So,
Mm,
he'd take the kids home if they didn't have a lift. That's the only reason I knew, some of their circumstances.
yeah,
And Dad wasn't nosy. He wasn't going to ask. He just um, spent most of the time smoking the pipe.
yep.
You know.
Well, I mean, I lived that life too as a coach. You knew
Yeah.
what kids
Yeah, you knew. Yeah.
were going through because you took them
Right.
home.
Yeah. But if they asked him for help, he would be the first one to offer it if they did. But he's quiet, and like me, wasn't going to sit there and
Mhm.
speak out of turn if he didn't think it was proper.
Well, and I eat McDonald's, maybe twice a month. It's something that, if I got a coupon and I need something real fast, I'll swing by because
Yeah.
I'm not spending money, real money on that. But if I had a kid that needed something to eat at practice and I knew they didn't eat, there was a McDonald's like 4 minutes from Godwin. I
Yeah.
sent somebody to get a dollar McDouble or a dollar McChicken
Right.
because this kid
Yeah.
needs to eat.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm
Absolutely.
spending my money, so it's not like I'm gonna go, yeah, I'll go buy a $6 Whopper.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I say, back to the SNAP benefits quick.
Mhm.
You know, I say it's so fun to me because I'm going back through some of the comments because I didn't even, my Facebook's been really weird. It doesn't tell me every notification like it used to. It used to be like, hey, somebody commented, somebody commented. It doesn't do that. So I didn't even read half of this stuff, right? Um, you know, somebody said talking about corporate welfare. Well, it's the government program. Your only mistake here was expecting that it should make sense. So, um,
Fair
you're not
enough.
lying, right? Um, you know, say Red Lobster does VIP EBT. Shut up. You know, so there's some trolling aspect. Um, you know, and I'll say here, fat joke of the day. So we'll throw this one out there. Your heart and your knees are fighting the everyday battle. Damn. So, you know, um, the slogan of America. Blah blah blah. I'm EBTing the new slogan of America. You know, again, people are going to do whatever they want and say
Yeah.
whatever they want and feel, but uh, you know, this hit 166 different comments, and I'll say 5 of them were probably me saying thanks or again replying to the one.
Right.
So this got a lot. You know, people 3-second Google search. Yeah, you're right. I could, or I could have a general conversation with human beings
Yep.
that want to talk about this, right?
The worst part is you get a lot of people that comment that just don't know their head from their ass, and they just say dumb
Yeah.
shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They do.
Um, you know, instead of worrying about where people get their food, maybe you should maybe ask why are we sending billions to Israel, the Taliban, and Ukraine to feed their kids? All right, and that's a thing that people
Yep.
feel, right?
Yep.
We ask why the government spends money the way they do all the time. You know,
Right.
I wish they would get their crap together. Um,
Yep.
you know, as I say, you know, somebody absolutely effing disgusting, right? I can't believe I said effing and not say fucking. That's weird to me.
So let me tangent on government bullshit. For a
Yeah.
second. Um.
Oh, here. Sorry. Give me
No,
2
go
seconds.
ahead.
Food stamps are so absurd are so abused by fat, lazy people who don't have a clue how to not drain on society. They should ban food stamps. If you are such a worthless human, nobody who knows you would take care of you. Then why should I go off? Why should I go off yourself and finally do something good for the world?
Do you know that person?
No,
That person can suck every dick.
Brian McFadden.
He can suck every dick.
Jesus.
That's
Brian is from Spring Lake, Michigan. Uh, home is in Fruitport, Michigan. In case anybody wants to know.
Looks like a jackass.
Say, yeah.
Oh,
Of course, you know,
and he's got kids.
stands with
Oh,
Trump.
of course he does.
This is my favorite. This is okay.
start checking the boxes.
Here's my favorite. This human being
Uh-huh.
is exactly what blows my mind.
Yeah.
David, tell me where he lives.
He lives in a fucking trailer park.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is a picture of
He's probably
him.
Christian too.
I probably, you know, he's single, which explains a lot.
Oh, that explains it.
Good for you, women. But you know, this man posted. No disrespect to you, but buddy, like you live in a trailer and okay. So if you make $37,000, you feel you're better than the person making 30. You know what?
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Maybe he loves the feeling of a trailer because they do have jacuzzi tubs.
The tubs
Yeah.
are
You
great.
get them with a nice fireplace nowadays too.
Right, but don't get me wrong. This trailer doesn't look to be kept very well. The shed is kind of whatever. But something tells me you're not making 100 fucking grand a year. You're not
Yeah.
living the high life here, and you're so fucking worried. You want people to off themselves because they're fat, lazy,
Yeah.
and
on food stamps.
on food stamp. Like, holy shit, ball! I bet this. You know, I should keep going through his Facebook because I'm promising you, there's going to be you guys have a conversation because now I'm interested because I promise you, it's going to be my car broke down. Anybody got $100?
Yeah.
Or I mean, he's going to have a bag in here
Yeah.
somewhere, and I'm promising you, I'm going to find it.
All right.
For
Well,
some
Call it
for
back out.
some
you do
reason,
this. Go
I
ahead,
think
Dave.
for some reason, you know, I think people, I can't speak for him, but there seems to be a mentality that people like to talk out both sides of their mouth when it comes to government benefits because on one hand, it's like, well, it's not fair that that person gets it. If you say that, then you're implying that, well, maybe I deserve something.
Uh-huh.
But on the other hand, the other side of the mouth, well, they shouldn't be getting any benefits at all because they should have to work for everything. Well, which one is it? You know?
Yeah. So the thing I was gonna ask you in a minute, I'm just gonna read instead. But so for the first time, we had people take us up on the my house is open for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So Mike came up, Nelson came over, Kristen came over. So I had three people that, aren't normally at my house to eat on Thanksgiving, at my house to eat on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And of course, that makes my wife so happy because food is her love language. If she
Yep.
can make you food, she's happy as a fucking pig in shit.
Hmm.
And I don't begrudge. Like people are like, well, what can I bring? Don't fucking bring anything. Just come over and eat because it's Thanksgiving and I don't want you to be alone. I want you do the same shit. I mean, if you have people over, you buy all the fucking food.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what you do. So I got a text today from somebody. Dan, you're gonna love this. Holy fuck, the American healthcare system pisses me off again. So I'm picking up the dog's prescription, $13. Talking to the lady, and she goes, "Oh, Lola is a dog?" Yup. She goes, "I can put a discount on here because she doesn't have insurance because dogs can't get that." I said, "Let me get this right. It's cheaper if I don't have insurance than if I had insurance." And my answer to this person who's sitting next to me was, "Yup, that's because the healthcare system here is broken. If you have no insurance, you get discounts."
Yeah. It's
Yep.
it's just insane to me. So,
Well, again, you're paying insurance companies. That's what you're paying.
right, and that's it. Like you're just. I swear They only make money. You could spend the exact same amount that you pay for your. Well, say some places give free insurance or whatever, but like you could spend the same amount and probably get the same health care if you paid out of pocket.
There are some doctors that are
Strictly cash.
well, they're creating basically co-ops where you pay a monthly fee,
Yeah.
which is basically a premium, but let's say it's $100 and you come in, when you need to be seen, and that's how they're paying for things because they just cut out the insurance company altogether because all it is red tape.
Right.
I mean, how many times is there something that needs to be done and they're like, yeah, well, insurance just won't pay for that. Dawn's a great point. So she went to her doctor on Friday last week. She was sick all weekend, fever, throwing up, all of it. So on Monday, she calls back to her doctor's office and they're like, well, there's a test we could run, but you have to be admitted to have it run. Excuse me?
You know,
Otherwise, insurance won't pay for it.
Well,
I
no,
could-
that was. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm gonna jump off here in a minute, but
Sure.
the I could talk the rest of the night on the insurance, but that is something that you talk about completely changing my mind on. I used to be vehemently opposed to any type of nationalized health care. I have done the biggest 180 on it, and there are so many reasons for that, but not the least of which is the inefficiency of it all. And the fact that we pay for it like no one's business. We do. And like you said, David, it's the insurance companies that actually are pocketing it.
Mhm.
They are. It's crazy. The ironic thing is the United States is one country because our population is so vast. We could probably actually legitimately pay for a nationalized healthcare so much more efficiently than the other countries that do it. Because when it all comes down to it, it is a numbers game. It is.
So, do you know what your company pays for your health insurance?
Oh, yes, I actually do. It's my company is one of the rare ones. I don't want to admit this.
Mhm.
It's 100% employee covered. I don't pay anything out of pocket for it for a paycheck. It's like, I don't know, $17,000.
Yeah.
Um,
And say,
I used to be in the billing department of a healthcare company,
yeah.
mhm,
and I would see the monthly bills to small businesses,
Yeah.
air
Yep.
quotes. And I mean, they'd have 4 or 5 employees, and their monthly premium would be $10,000.
Yeah.
You're telling me that we couldn't figure out how to not pay that much money myself? So I have an out-of-pocket maximum of it's around $13,300, and most years I hit that.
Yeah.
I also pay premiums every check of I'm going to say it's $20. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm $13,300 out of pocket every year. I'm 20
Yeah.
bucks out of every paycheck.
Yeah.
I'm spending 15 grand a year on healthcare. You're telling me right now that it would be worse if I had a nationalized healthcare system? And their argument's always, well, you got to wait months to see a doctor. You got to fucking wait months to see a doctor now.
Yeah, you do.
What the fuck are we talking?
Yeah.
And we're putting everybody in bankruptcy.
And that's one of the things that got me to change my mind on it, Dave. Well, there's going to be ration care. There's ration care right now,
Yeah,
big time.
it's awful.
Well, I mean, my nephew is currently in the hospital, and he was supposed to have a surgery at 1 o'clock the other day, and I asked for an update because I had to go coach, and it got pushed because a bigger emergency came in.
Yeah.
And he had surgery at like 8 o'clock that night or whatever, and it's like that's how it's going. Right, the one that's going to die needs it more than the one that's going to be able to stay alive for
Yeah.
7 more hours, right? I mean, yeah,
It's
there's
scary.
emergencies of all different,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scale, right? Like
Yeah.
needs to do this, otherwise we'll pass away, or we can keep them alive until they absolutely can't, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a good ending spot since Daniel has to leave us anyway. So what do you say?
Yeah, as always, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family. If you have any other questions for us, feel free to reach out. If you're an expert on the topic that you would love to talk about, give us a shout and we'll get you on.
We're gonna have a baseball episode in a couple weekends here. David or Daniel will be back for that one. Did I call him David earlier?
I
It
don't
doesn't.
know.
I
It's
hope
okay.
not.
You were
I
reading. You were
responded
reading.
back.
I was
The,
reading the Zoom screen.
yeah.
Daniel will be back with his brother, the professor, Mr. Eye Candy, Michael Benson, hopefully Nick and me for a baseball episode. Join us for that. We don't know when we're doing episodes because Nick has a baby on the way. Congratulations, Nick and Courtney.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you guys again real soon. Dan, thanks for joining us. Always great to talk to you, my
You
friend.
bet. Absolutely. You guys take
Bye.
care.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Yep. See ya.
I want to do a quick TikTok live.
Yep. God, I don't know what next week I could do. Emerson Thursday.
We may just have to start
I might-
playing it by ear.
Yeah, I say I might be able to do Tuesday next week. I'm getting back, and either that or I might be able to do Friday because I have taxes that night. I'm doing a college talk, which I was going to say,
You're doing a college talk.
yeah, a real estate talk or whatever, and so they want me to come in for that, and talk in front of a group. What up, man? How are you?
Joe.